Welcome 3D modeling students. In this continuation of our toy project, we are going to add some different colors to each side of our blocks. Now, in order to do that, we need to be able to access or select each face of each block. And we currently can't do that. In order to be able to do that, we need to be able to convert this to something called an editable poly. And there's a couple of different ways to do this. We can right click, and that brings up this thing here called the quad menu. And we can come down to convert to editable poly. Or we can come over here to the modifier list and add an edit poly modifier. So let's do that. Now what that allows us to do is select different parts of this cube. If I go to vertex, then I can select each vertex or corner and move it around. If I go to edge, I can select each edge and move it around. Border selects the edges around a void, which we don't have. I can go to face and I can select each face. And this is what we want to do. We want to select each face. Now, in order to apply a color or a different material to a different face of each face of this cube, we need to use something called a multi-sub-object material. We can't use the color swatches. So we're going to have to bring up our material editor. And the material we need is listed over here on the left-hand side. It is the multi-sub-object material. So let's drag this out into the slate. And notice it has slots. Now we have 6 sides to our cube, but there are 10 slots here. Let's come over here to its settings and delete the ones we don't need. We only need 6. And then let's drag off of node number 1 and go to Materials, General, Physical Material. And now let's name this material red. And then let's go to its base color here, click on the little swatch, and just take your little color picker across here and drag that over to the upper corner and drag the whiteness slider all the way up to create a red material. And then let's do one more thing before we leave. Let's make reflections 0 and roughness 1. And then let's minimize this material by clicking the little plus sign here. And then let's come over to our multi-sub-object material and let's name this first slot here red. Now we could drag off of here and create a new material each time, or we could just copy the one we have and change the color and the name. So that's what we're going to do. Hold down Shift and drag, and that creates a copy. And let's do that until we have 6 copies. And then let's connect them up. And then select each one and change the color. I want a green one. And this one green. Name this one blue. And change the color to blue. Let's make this one yellow and change the name to yellow. I think I want to make this one kind of an orange color. And I'm going to make this one white and name it white. And I forgot to change the name of the orange one to orange. I'm going to go back to the multi-sub-object material and name each slot. Now, in order to use this material, I'm going to make my window a little smaller here and move this over so I can access the output node. Move this over so I can see my objects. If you have any of these active, click on them again to turn them off. So we're accessing the entire geometry. And then let's drag the output node and drop that material on all 3 of our blocks. And you can see that it works out pretty good. Now, if I wanted the faces to be different colors, like let's say I wanted this one to be, I don't know, green, this one, the top one, then I would access that polygon by going to polygon mode and clicking it. And then I would scroll down in the settings here and I would find the material IDs. And currently the material ID for this one is 1. If I change that to something like 2, you can see I've changed it now to green. And that is how you do that. I might convert this one to an editable poly and change this face to green so it doesn't look so uniform. There we go. And you can see the colors name here. That's where we named the slots in the multi-sub-object material right here. That's why we see that name right there. So that's how you create a multi-sub-object material. And so now what we have is our scene with colors. Now when we come back in the next video, we are going to set up our lighting and our rendering. And I'll see you then.